This podcast is sponsored by ScienceBasedLearning.com. Discover your passion for languages with our innovative ebook, audiobook, and video system. Maximize retention using spaced repetition. Start your journey today.
How gestures boost verbal skills and language acquisition for adults. Discover how gestures support verbal skills and enhance adult language learning through science-backed techniques to improve fluency and retention. The powerful connection between gestures and verbal skills. If you've ever tried to explain something complicated but struggled to find the right words, chances are you naturally resorted to using your hands or body to help get your message across. Gestures aren't just random movements, they play a critical role in how we communicate and, intriguingly, how we develop and enhance verbal skills, especially when learning a new language. Understanding the link between gestures and verbal skills can offer adult language learners an effective science-backed tool to accelerate language acquisition and improve overall fluency. Why gestures matter in language learning? Gestures are a universal part of human communication. From pointing and waving to shrugging and nodding, these nonverbal cues help clarify or complement speech. What's fascinating is that gestures don't simply accompany speech, they actively support how our brains process and produce language. Brain activation. When you use gestures while speaking or learning, different regions in your brain related to language and motor functions work together. This coordination often results in better word recall and comprehension. Memory boost. Gestures act as physical anchors, helping you remember vocabulary or grammar rules. This is particularly useful in adult language learning, where hands-on engagement can make abstract concepts more tangible. Improved pronunciation and fluency. Synchronizing speech with gestures can encourage smoother pronunciation and more natural rhythm because your brain links physical movement with verbal output. Scientific insights on the gesture-verbal skill link. The science of language learning reveals a fascinating connection. Gestures, when paired with verbal practice, help build stronger neural pathways that support language mastery. Cognitive studies show that when learners physically move, like using gestures related to new vocabulary, the brain encodes these associations more effectively than through passive listening alone. Research also suggests that early childhood language development heavily relies on gestures. Children start communicating gestures before they can talk, which helps scaffold their vocabulary. Adults might not realize it, but tapping into this natural communication style can make their own language learning less daunting. How to use gestures to enhance your language acquisition. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly can you put this knowledge into practice to learn a new language better? Here are some strategies. Pair new words with gestures. For example, when learning the word eat, mimic putting food in your mouth. This physical movement links the action with the word, reinforcing understanding and recall. Practice storytelling. Using gestures. Narrate simple stories or descriptions and use corresponding gestures to illustrate actions or feelings. This helps embed the vocabulary within meaningful context. Use gestures. When speaking out loud, make a habit of naturally gesturing while practicing sentences out loud. This dynamic interaction between body and speech can reduce hesitation and boost confidence. Observe native speakers. Watching how native speakers use gestures to accompany their speech can provide insight into natural rhythm and cultural nuances in communication. Why adult language learners should pay attention. Adults often focus heavily on grammar drills, vocabulary lists, or passive study methods, neglecting a crucial component of communication, the body. Incorporating gestures taps into embodied cognition, meaning learning involves the whole body, not just the brain. Because adults frequently face challenges like slower processing speeds or less immersive environments, gestures offer an accessible, low-cost, and scientifically supported method to reinforce learning. Using gestures can make language acquisition less abstract and more connected to real-world meaning. Unlock more effective learning, here's how. If you want a structured approach that combines the best evidence-based practices, consider exploring ScienceBasedLearning.com. This innovative platform offers a simple ebook, audiobook, and video language learning system paired with an online practice app that utilizes the science behind spaced repetition to maximize your retention. By integrating gesture-based learning methods with scientifically validated tools, you'll gain an edge in understanding how to learn a language efficiently. This combination helps you bridge the gap between comprehension and practical fluent use. Takeaway: gestures are more than just hand movements. They're powerful allies in acquiring and honing verbal skills. By involving your body in the language learning process, you activate multiple areas of the brain, aid memory, and create more natural speech patterns. Whether you're a beginner or further along in your adult language learning journey, paying attention to your gestures can give you a significant boost. Ready to enhance your language skills in a way that's both fun and rooted in science? Check out sciencebasedlearning.com and see how their simple ebook, audiobook, and video system combined with a smart practice app can bring the science of language learning into your daily routine.